Good morning and welcome to the Gribbly's Folly Sunday Antisocial Hour. That time each week when I fail to smoke a pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. And today is a little bit different because there are not one but two neighbors mowing their lawns right beside the Gribbly's Folly Community Garden and Massage Parlor. So given that and the fact that we've only got a few questions this week, I thought I would do a video from the Central Command office here in my house, where it's also not like 50 million degrees. If I were allowed to smoke inside my house, that's rude. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. If I were allowed to smoke inside my house, I would be smoking my Stanwell pot. Alas, I'm not, and my freedom is curtailed. Next, they'll have me wearing a mask. Okay, it's all right. I've already smoked my one smoke for the week anyway. I don't want to double up. Of course, tomorrow will actually be Sunday, and that's a whole nother week, so it works out. Talking about stress relief in the questions here, Jeremy Harbin asked Gribbs, what are you doing to unwind during the pandemic? By the way, if you have a question for me, leave it in the comments down below with the hashtag AskGribbs, and I am bound by oath from which I can release myself that I will answer any question. Big questions, small questions, personal questions, obscure questions. Jeremy Harbin, what are you doing to unwind during the pandemic? Any new hobbies or pastimes? I'm doing a lot of like clinically depressed napping, which is where the coffee comes into play. Anyway, no, I do. I have some new projects. I have a big secret project I've been working on that I can't tell you about because it's secret. And then I've been working on some more photography related stuff, which is going to come out in a video this week. I'm super excited about it, and I need to work on that today. But you know, I fished and I fished and I fished during the first part of all this quarantine lockdown stuff, and I kind of came to the conclusion once I caught, like in June, I caught more fish than I had ever caught in a year before, and that was when I was like, you know, maybe I'm fishing just a bit too much. Been watching a lot of TikTok before it's banned. You know, it's like buy your Cuban cigars before the embargo goes into effect. I've been playing a little bit of Minecraft. I find now that when I have a lot of interest going on, that Minecraft doesn't consume me like it has in the past, which is good. Because I spend too much time at home anyway. Like, I don't really want to sit at home and play Minecraft in my free time, but when it's raining or dark, it's a pretty good pastime. If you guys ever want to see Minecraft videos, man, I am all about it. Howard is always asking the hard-hitting personal questions as if he were hiring me for a job, like a low-wage, unskilled worker job. One time, I applied for a job at Goodwill, and it didn't go very well. I showed up in a suit and tie for the interview, and the questions they were like, in what situation is it acceptable to steal from your employer? Anyway, Howard says, have you ever been put on probation? And I may have been put on academic probation 5 or 6 times during college. I can't really remember them. Believe it or not, I have never been in trouble with the law. I got a speeding ticket, and I did have a car crash where I got a ticket for that. Other than, like, you know, reckless endangerment of the populace, I've never been in trouble with the law enough to be put on probation. However, I'm considering it because at this point, I'm 39. I work for myself when I work, so I don't really need a spotless record, you know? And I saw those videos from, I think it was from Minnesota, of the people wearing the Nazi masks as COVID masks. And I told my wife, I was like, you know, if I see that go down and I don't have our kid with me, and the people don't look like actual, like, malicious style neo-Nazis. It's just some schmucks wearing swastikas. I'm gonna go to jail. Your Honor, they were wearing swastikas. Throw the book at me. Howard also asked Gribbs, I don't know if there's much of a market, but have you ever considered making pinhole camera glamour portraits? And I'm way ahead of you, sir. Way ahead of you. I have already gotten started on this, although not technically with a pinhole camera. It's with a camera that's even nerdier. This is a Holga 120 medium format camera. It was made in China. They were designed in the 80s as like the communist Kodak Brownie. And they almost never work. In fact, I had to buy 2 cameras to make one working camera. But when they do work, the images that they produce are amazing, and I think they're really well suited for portraits. So on the back burner right now, because I got this giant secret project I'm trying to like hammer into completion, I have been shooting analog portraits with this guy. Pinhole doesn't really suit itself for portraits because it doesn't suit itself. It's not well suited for portraits because the shutter speed, the exposure times can be so long, people can't sit still. And pinhole cameras are usually have a very wide angle perspective, and that is not flattering. That is not flattering on anyone really, but especially not people like me who have features they want to de-emphasize, like my entire body. One of the reasons we use long lenses for portraits is that they flatten perspective. They don't emphasize things that are closer to the camera like a wide angle lens does. And pinholes are ultra wide, so anything that gets closer to the camera is going to be huge in comparison, like your nose. And so that's why pinhole portraits mostly just look kind of weird. Martin Stinsby asked Gribbs, is it possible to release oneself from an oath? Seems kind of Trumpist to me, or is it just because you're a level 50 shaman? So, is it possible to release oneself from an oath? Yeah, sure it is. My oath to answer any and all questions was not legally binding, is what I'm trying to say. There was no contract. That did not have to fill out any forms. And so when it gets to the point of me driving myself insane talking about Donald Trump in my videos, yeah, I'd rather go back on my flimsy internet word than end up having a panic attack. Speaking of panic attacks, Martin over at Over a Pipe asked Gribbs, Mickey's a mouse, Donald's a duck, Pluto's a dog, what the F is a Gribbly? And I have to censor Martin because of his horrible language here that he writes in the, anyway. So this of course comes from Stand By Me, the kids movie. Well, it's not really a kids movie. It's a movie about kids, which comes from the novella called The Body by Stephen King, in which a group of boys sets out on an adventure to find a dead body. They know where the body, they don't just go like randomly looking for a dead body. Anyway, and they're sitting around and they ask this question, Mickey's a mouse, Donald's a duck, what the fuck is Goofy? And it's just priceless. Mark my words, Stephen King will one day be taught in literature classes as an American icon. His character development, particularly of young male characters, is on point up until all of his work started to suck after his accident. Anyway, a Gribbly. Can I stall some more? I really don't want to answer this question. Martin, if you're stuck with nothing to do during the pandemic, if you're quarantined and you're bored, I highly advise learning to read. You could really find a lot of entertainment just in these. They're like collections of paper with words on them. Ooh, it's just savage YTPC infighting there. So Gribbly, the name Gribbly comes from a book called My Side of the Mountain, which is a young adult. It's like it's an adolescent. It's maybe even a little less than adolescent. I read it in 3rd grade. You're not an adolescent in 3rd grade. It's a kid's book. It's a kid's book about a kid named Gribbly that runs away to the woods. And that's how I've patterned my whole life for the past 4 years. Look, I found my copy from the third grade. There he is. There's Sam Gribley. Don't we look just alike with the hair and the falcon? Wonderful book. Not a survival manual, but a wonderful book. One of the neighbors has completed mowing their lawn. The other one is still. Can you hear it? Can you hear it through the window in there? It seems pretty quiet. Last week was pretty terrible. I didn't want to do that again. Anyway, I should probably mow my lawn. Yeah. I've said this before, but success is watching someone else mow your lawn. Is paying someone else to do the most basic of tasks of home ownership. That's success. Anyway, short antisocial this week. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more analog photography content this week. And the secret project is it's a little bit closer. It's a little bit closer every day. Thank you so much. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind. Martin, good luck with that literacy thing, man.